Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle and I am excited to get you a collective reading today. I already feel like the color blue is going to be very significant outside of the fact that I'm wearing blue. I was being drawn to a lot of blues prior to setting up this reading, and I actually was called to utilize my blue decks. So already I'm feeling like there is going to be some sort of focus around the third eye as well as maybe the throat chakra connection, your intuition deepening, you feeling more confident in the way that you are expressing or speaking out your needs seems to be very significant, but we'll get some information here. I have our decks selected for the reading. And before I dive too deep into that, I just wanted to briefly highlight this really sweet and intentional brand, Otter Spirit, that sent me these beautiful beaded bracelets, especially with the holidays coming out around. I do have a code that you can use to get 35% off of your purchase through the end of November. So I'll drop all of that in the description box, but they're just such a sweet and thoughtful brand. Everyone I've connected with from that company has been just so genuine and warm, and they have a mission-driven brand. It's a small family-owned business. Every purchase donates $1 to preservation efforts for sea otters, and the packaging is super intentional. I've made a video about this before, but every single piece that you purchase comes with a card with the gemstone listed. There's an affirmation. They also organize things based on intention, zodiac sign, as well as the chakras associated to each stone as well, and everything is grade A authentic. So highly recommend checking them out if you are looking to expand your crystal jewelry collection. I opted for the minis just because they're so cute and delicate, but they do have like the regular sized beads, and then they also have necklaces as well as earrings available also, and just like the crystal spheres. So whether you're looking for yourself or for gifts for others, highly recommend, and I'll have that information in the description again below. But let's dive into your reading today. I have our tea leaves. We'll start out with those. Okay. Right off the bat, a month flew out, the month of May. So this could be significant for somebody. Perhaps a birthday, an important date. The number 5 too is coming through as significant, so some change is taking place for you at this time. Oh, just had way too many fly out. Let me try that one more time. So again, we did get the month of May. So either the month of May could be significant as well as the number 5. We have scissors, disappointment in some affair, lightning, control your anger or you will be sorry. Yoke, feeling tied down or frustrated. Shield, you need to defend yourself. As well as owl, good advice from a wise person. I'm really getting with the owl too, like the owl spirit. Owls are actually my spirit animal, and they really provide like a heightened perspective, bird's eye view on situations, very wise, able to see through the darkness. So that could be very significant for this collective. It seems like you are going through some constricting energy at this time. It's almost like there is some sort of conflict or energy, personality that you are dealing with at this time, situation that feels like it's working against you. And there is a call here to control your response. And I think also with the initial energy coming through of like blue being significant, when it comes to your third eye as well as your throat chakra, I think there is something about you deepening the connection or allowing this connection to take place where you are speaking from a place of intuition rather than reacting from a place of emotion. And I think you are really being tested and stretched to not react to something and actually take a moment to respond in a heightened way. And this is not to say, because, you know, with defend yourself, this is not to say like, don't speak up for yourself or allow people to walk all over you. In fact, this is quite the opposite. You're being asked to utilize your boundaries, be very strict with your energy at this time, but actually speak from an intentional place so that your message can get across more clearly. When we respond from a place of anger or, you know, this like heavily emotion-filled response, it typically isn't received as well as it would be if you took a moment to actually observe the situation, recognize what is worth your time and energy in addressing and what is not. Because there's also an energy here of like you feeling tied down. Maybe you're in a situation right now. I'm getting like work situations could be very significant, perhaps certain friendships, relationships as well, family connections also coming through, where you just feel like they don't understand you, or like what you say doesn't make any impact in the space that you are taking up. And I feel like you're being guided here to, again, utilize your discernment and your heightened perspective to say, is it worth my time and my energy to push this matter with somebody who refuses to understand or hear what I have to say, or actually take in what I have to say? In a lot of cases, I'm sure you would identify that maybe it's not. You know that it's going to start a fight. You know that they're never going to see it your way. And so perhaps for some of you, there is a call to reserving that energy. Others of you, you're needing to speak up more. Okay? Be firm in, again, your values, what it is that you believe in, and be very discerning about how you are expressing this. Okay, again, not doing it. I really feel like there's a call here to like not react too quickly from an emotional place. I feel like if there is a situation that you're finding yourself in that is very frustrating, you might need to take a beat, take a moment, tune into that intuition. Okay, connect with your third eye, connect with your heightened guidance to say, how should I respond? What is the best possible way to respond in a way that is not discounting your growth, discounting your values? Because a lot of the times, again, when we let our anger take over, we tend to respond in a lower vibration, in a version of ourselves that maybe we won't be super proud of when we look back on it, right? So something about being really mindful about the way in which you're approaching a situation right now, but also being still very protective of your energy and recognizing that sometimes people are just going to purposefully want to misunderstand you, and it's just not worth your energy. Your energy could be used better in developing and growing yourself, growing things that actually give you purpose, growing relationships that make you feel appreciated, right? Rather than constantly pouring into these places that really don't align with you anymore. But let's get you some more information here. Yeah. Boundaries are extremely significant. I was feeling that from the beginning, but you have the card, you got the love. It says Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. You also have big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas, as well as the messenger, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. I feel like you are somebody here who is meant to, and this is similar to a reading I just did earlier, where it's like you're meant to make a lasting impact. You have very big ideas. You're a very big thinker. You're visionary, and you're being asked to bring these to light, but perhaps you're in situations or places where they're not ready to receive what it is you have to offer. And that is not saying anything about your inherent worth or what it is that you can provide. It's saying something about them and the situation, the circumstance, whether this is like a company, again, a friend group, family. They are not ready to receive what it is you have to offer. And so rather than wasting your time trying to convince them to see what it is you have to offer, you're going to be moved into spaces that will accept you, okay? That want to hear what you have to say, that want your ideas, that want to bring your visions to life. You know, I'm getting that Albert Einstein quote where it's like, about the fish, where it's like, what is it? I'm sorry, I'm losing it. Let me look it up because I need to say this correctly to get the point across. Okay. The quote is, everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. And I feel like this quote is very resonant for this collective, where it's like, it's not you and your ideas that are incorrect. It's where they're being applied, who you are providing these to, okay? They don't see the vision. There's something about where you're at that just does not see your vision. And so rather than you backing down on your vision, you're being asked to set boundaries around, again, where it is that you're expressing these ideas, recognizing that perhaps you need to focus on getting into a space where you will be accepted, where you can bring that harmony and balance that you feel called to do, and not allowing these instances where people don't understand you, they don't see your worth, they don't see what it is you're trying to do, how you're trying to benefit a situation, how you're trying to cultivate this peace, this harmony, rather than allowing all of them to make you feel like your purpose is less than, or that that your vision, your way in which you see things is wrong, you're being asked to close off some of your energy in these spaces so that you can revert and focus on getting into spaces where they are going to value it, okay? It's like the whole energy of like a seat at the table is being prepared that you haven't even been introduced to yet. Your name is being spoken of in rooms that you have not even been introduced to yet, because there are people out there, communities, companies, situations that are waiting for someone just like you. And rather than allowing, again, your current circumstances to trick you into thinking that you have less value, you need to understand that you do have value. It's just you're providing it to the wrong spaces at this time. And I feel like you are in this process of transitioning out of this space, being able to step into rooms where they actually value everything that you have to offer, feeling like you're in this reciprocal energy, okay? So I do feel like this collective has been through a lot of times where they've been made to doubt their capabilities and the way that they view things. But you need to understand as well that if you continue to water down yourself, your ideas, your message to fit what everybody else expects of you, you'll never be able to please everybody. So why not just stay true to yourself, right? Why not just express things from the most authentic place that you know how to? You know, I even resonate with this on a level of, and I've shared this before, of like, some people do not like the way that I channel. And rather than me trying to adjust to fit the way that they want me to channel, then I'm gonna have people who don't like that too, right? So it's like, you just need to decide what you have to offer is good, okay? And I hope that it's coming across in a way that, yes, we're always able to grow, okay? We're always able to expand and learn and evolve and get better at something. This isn't to say that everything you do is perfect, but I do feel like this collective is a collective that often doubts themselves, that doesn't give themselves enough credit. And so there are times where you do need to give yourself that credit and recognize that it's just, again, the environment, the place that you're in, the situation that you're in, that is just not worth the time and the energy anymore. And so focus that energy again to transitioning out into spaces that are going to accept what you have to offer. Ace of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Six of Cups. There's a blessing that is coming after a long wait. And I feel like this blessing is something that you are providing to yourself. I feel like, again, this is a collective who has been through time and time again situations where they were looked at as weird or other, or I really feel like you are a trailblazer if you're connecting with this energy. You are somebody, again, this like visionary energy where it's like you see things before people are ready to accept them. You see things, maybe a lot of you are intuitives as well, where it's like, you understand energy and you understand the progress of things before other people even can get a hint of that. And because of that, you have often been made to feel misplaced, to feel othered, to feel like you're the weird one, or your like black sheep energy is coming through as significant as well, okay? And I do feel like there is something about, by you not backing down on the fact that you do have something to offer, that your ideas are good, that in fact, you're actually somebody who's going to be pushing and innovating and making things better. And it's almost like the people who have rejected your ideas, the people who have talked down on your ideas, they're going to find out that they made a mistake once you reach a certain level of success, whether they're still connected to you or not. Okay, but there's this energy of like, they're gonna wish that they listened to you because what you're going to be able to create from these ideas. And so it's like, again, it's just a time and a place thing. You're in the wrong time, you're in the wrong place, but that doesn't mean that you have any less value to provide. And if anything, you were ahead of your time. That's what it feels like. I feel like a lot of this collective has always been ahead of their time. Again, maybe you call things out before things arrive, or you can just pinpoint ways to innovate circumstances or systems, right? Like maybe you're like a process improvement type of person, or you can identify lapses in certain systems or ways in which people are acting or doing things. And again, just people have not been receptive to that. And so I feel like you're about to be stepping into an era where you are going to be accepted for that. People are going to be like, wow, thank you so much for this innovation that we so desperately needed. Because again, you're the fish. you've been in situations that told you to keep climbing the tree. You're about to be put into, with this Ace of Cups energy, you're about to be put into the ocean and really see how much of your potential can be realized because you're in the right circumstances and spaces. Yeah, Page of Cups, and we have the little fish in the cup. Yep, confirmation. There's something about you deeply connecting with your inner child through this process as well. Again, that Six of Cups energy that showed up earlier, where it's like, this is a gift that you're providing to a version of yourself. All the times that little you was told, shut up, that's dumb, stop talking, stop doing this, stop doing that. It's like, you're in this position now where you're recognizing that you get to have more say over where it is that you're sharing these ideas, and being really discerning about where it is and making sure that you are providing that in a space that is productive for your development and for the development of whatever it is that you're connected to. And so again, this is something that is going to feel very deeply connected to your heart, to your inner child. It's like letting them know that they are valued, that they are seen, that they are heard, and that their ideas are able to be brought to life in the right circumstances. And this is making me think too, because I do have my Meet My Inner Child healing activation still for sale. If anybody's interested in connecting deeper with their inner child, I am extremely passionate about this, because anybody who has been through severe trauma throughout their childhood, but even anybody who has like experienced these things in adulthood, it doesn't have to be just your childhood. It's like anytime you've been told that your ideas were bad or that you were stupid for seeing something in a certain way, it's like that is hurting this vulnerable piece of yourself that just wants to be expressed, that just wants to be seen and understood. So check that out if you do feel called. It just felt like the right time to bring that up. But we have the Four of Cups, you have the Six of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands, again 5-5, lots of change on the horizon, the Sun, and Six of Pentacles. You've had to fight through lack for so much of your life. Again, fighting against energies that didn't want to hear what you had to say, fighting again for your rights to survive. Like, I feel like you are really somebody who has lived most of their life in survival mode. And I feel like what you're about to be blessed with, how you're about to be removed from this, is going to come very unexpectedly. I think you're tired, you're over it, you don't want to keep pushing against this energy. And that's why I feel like this primary energy that was coming forward in the beginning is reserve some of that energy. Stop trying to fight in situations that only want to misunderstand you. Pull back some of that energy. Focus on yourself. Focus on loving yourself. Focus on valuing yourself, affirming to yourself that you are valuable, that your ideas are good, that you see things in a beautiful way, okay? And that's what's going to bring you this major abundance, reciprocity, so much happiness, okay? Public recognition, if that is something you're looking for, finding the right communities, the right people who actually care what you have to offer, who align to what it is you have to offer, that want and wait for what it is that you provide, that exists, okay? That exists, and you might not be in it right now, but that is what's waiting for you as you continue to go through this process. So much happiness, so much abundance. Again, that inner child joy and fulfillment is destined for you. And I just think right now, if you're in this difficult, frustrating situation, rather than constantly trying to push against it, just flow with it. Understand that you will break the karmic cycle, especially if this is something that has been repetitive throughout your life. Like, you find yourself in these situations constantly through different relationships, through different employers, through different groups, you know, whatever it is. If you're seeing this repetitively, you're being called to respond differently. You do not have to prove yourself to people who, again, do not want to understand you, who have no interest in understanding you. You don't have to prove yourself to them. You need to reserve your energy. You need to focus on the environments that do bring you that joy, that do bring you that fulfillment. So whether this means like cutting yourself off, setting boundaries with certain family members, friends, okay, and focusing on the people in your life that actually do fulfill you, that do make you feel good, that do make you feel supported, or for a lot of you, this could be just turning into yourself. Giving that love to yourself, allowing yourself to feel held and supported by yourself and the divine, because the divine is assisting you through this journey as well. But there's something about you really needing to defend your way of viewing things. Your perspective is so valuable. I really feel like, again, you are somebody who sees things before they happen, whether you are like psychic intuitive or just somebody who has like a sense for things. You just can understand things from a broader perspective than what a lot of people who, you know, like living in like the matrix energy, it's like they're comfortable just with their blinders on, being oblivious to something greater, okay? The fact that there could be something better out there, that there could be more for them. Stop trying to connect with people who, again, just don't see things in the way that you do, because there are other people who will. So Six of Pentacles, again, is giving me this energy of you being gifted this opportunity to, again, dive into that ocean, allow yourself to swim freely, allow your ideas to be really taken in and admired, and gifted opportunities too through this, where it's like you're going to be, again, in the right rooms. You're going to be with the right people who want to invest in you, who want to provide you something because they actually see what it is that you have to provide. But first and foremost, you need to understand that what you can provide to yourself is immeasurable, okay? It's invaluable. The more love that you pour into yourself, every time somebody tells you or is fighting with you or telling you that you shouldn't think that way, or you shouldn't look at things that way, or it's not that serious, it's not that deep, take that opportunity to turn into yourself and tell yourself, actually, it is that deep. Actually, I am, this is valuable. What you're providing is insightful. You're innovative. You're, again, like a trailblazer, a visionary. Like, take that time to alchemize that energy and pour back into yourself, because that is what's going to allow your surroundings to reflect, okay? It always starts inside. It always starts internally. As you work with your own internal energy, your physical reality has no choice but to adapt to that. So I feel like that is what you're being stretched and tested to at this time, which is why it's so important for you to not respond immediately to things that are fighting against you, because then you're feeding into it. Then you're allowing that energy to take hold onto you and keep you in that lower vibration, keep you in the same environments, the same cycles that you are actively trying to break free from. Yeah, Three of Swords. You've been through a lot of hurt and disappointment throughout your life, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of fallen cups, things that you invested your time and energy in. And I feel like that's why they're saying no more. Stop investing your time and energy in spaces that are not worth it. And I know that's so much easier said than done. Like, obviously, if you're working a job, like, you still got to show up, you got a paycheck to work for, all of those things. This is not to take away from that. But again, it's like preserving your energy. And if you recognize, like, as you're listening to this reading, or maybe this is something that you have come to terms with recently, it's like, as you are going through this experience, recognizing the places where you no longer align and focusing rather than fighting against it. Take all of that energy that you would usually go after it and you would usually fight and try to make your point, get your point across, try to make them, justify what it is that you have to offer. Take all of that energy that you would pour into that and actually and use it to assisting this transition out of that. Okay, you are bound for major change. We have 3 5s here again. That 5 energy, very significant. You're undergoing massive change because, again, you're outgrowing your environment, or you're recognizing that you no longer resonate with the energies that are surrounding you in certain spaces. And so you are being called to take the pain, take the heartbreak, take all of that and pour love into it. Find peace, harmony, and balance where you can. Understand that you've learned so much. These lessons are going to be extremely valuable. Again, a lot of you have been through lessons of needing to speak up for yourself, needing to be firm in your boundaries, not allowing people to walk all over you. You're probably a recovering people pleaser, a lot of you in this collective. And that is something that you've been actively working against. It's like a muscle, though. You're having to continually stretch and push through and, get those reps in. Allow yourself to get to a place where it's comfortable and it's natural for you to do so. But in the beginning, if you've been through a lot of these situations where it has been a constant fight and you dim your light or you get smaller, you try to avoid the conflict, those things are going to keep repeating themselves until you finally stand firm in your value, in your worth, and you say, no, I know that and whether this is something that you, again, like, use your discernment, whether this is something that you communicate directly to the person or the people that are making you feel this way, or it's something that you just accept within yourself where it's like, I'm never going to get through to this person, but I know my own inherent worth and I'm going to find a place that actually values that as well, okay? And this is going to, again, revitalize the way that you move, the way that you view situations. I feel like you're about to get like such a fresh, beautiful perspective on your life as you step into this new, abundant, beautiful era that you are in process of. After you kind of get through this cleanup, I feel like you're really deep in a karmic cleanup. There are cycles that are being closed out. Again, recognize where you're seeing repetition in your difficulties, in your challenges. What are the consistent themes? Maybe it's a different situation, but it has the same energy. Why is that showing up again? How can you respond differently? How can you rise above it? How can you protect and preserve your energy for the things that actually are going to push you forward into your manifestations, into the rooms and the situations that are meant to be aligned to this heightened version of yourself that you've been becoming? Okay, yeah, and behind the Three of Swords, we have the Nine of Pentacles. You are meant to reap your harvest. You are meant to live in abundance. And you are meant to feel proud of the fact that you stood firm and you believed in yourself when nobody else did. And that is what's allowing you to finally, again, be surrounded by energy that you yourself created and crafted into being. Because this is what you've always deserved, but you used to allow all of this fight, all of this bickering, all of this misunderstanding to make you feel like you were never deserving of this. Because clearly, if they're saying it, then that's true. I feel like you are finally rising above that and recognizing, like, just because somebody else says it doesn't make it true. Just because somebody else doesn't see the same vision as you doesn't mean that your vision is wrong, doesn't mean that you have less value. That is something I feel like you've been actively pushing through and persevering through. And that's what's going to bring you this next big success and next beautiful, abundant era of your life. Stay true to yourself, trust in yourself, and know that if there is an energy that is constantly fighting against you, then babes, it's time for you to find somewhere else, okay? I feel like you are deserving of such a reciprocal and beautiful and flow energy, okay? It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be, if you're in a purpose-filled career, it shouldn't be that hard. Yes, it's work at the end of the day, but it shouldn't be a constant fight. You shouldn't have to constantly be trying to defend yourself in circumstances with your boss or whatever this is, okay? So if it's a work environment, make that decision energetically that, okay, clearly I've outgrown this. Clearly this is not the space for me anymore. I'm gonna go find the one that is. If it's a relationship, clearly this relationship is no longer aligned to me. I'm gonna find the one that is, okay? Whatever this is for you, please take it always as it resonates, but know that when you are speaking from a place of your intuition, from your heart, from your soul, from your truth, then anybody who is not accepting of that clearly is just no longer aligned. And it's okay for you to move in new spaces, to make new connections that are going to fulfill this prophecy of abundance and happiness that you are absolutely aligned to. So I think I'm going to end the message there. I hope that this resonated. I'm sending you love always on your journey ahead. And thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here so that you don't miss future updates and videos from me. Love you.